What do you make of what's been going on, particularly over the weekend, the last few days, about where this negotiation is?
Well, I've always assumed that David Cameron will be able to negotiate a position where he can say he can now alter benefits in this one way that he's asked for. But what we want is the right for the British people and the British Parliament to choose who to pay benefits to and on what basis. Permanently, we want to be able to make changes as we see fit. This is one change now under the pressure of a referendum, which he may secure. It shows why we can't stay in this club. They don't want what we want, and they stop our democracy functioning.
But do you accept there might be people out there, members of the public, who are wavering, who haven't decided yet? This renegotiation may sway their opinion. They may think, actually, this is good that we've got some kind of backup now about when it comes to Euro countries. We don't have to go the same way as them. We can make some kind of commitment when it comes to benefits. It may sway their opinion.
Very few, I think, because the Prime Minister has asked for very little. And of course, as there's no treaty change on offer, none of it means very much. We are committed through legal treaties to allow them to make decisions for us and take powers and money off us, which we don't like. In order to change that, you need to change the treaties. I think the British people are quite clever enough to work that out, and they'll see if there's no treaty change, there's basically no change.
A lot of emphasis has been put on migration as one of the big issues, of course, with what's going on with Syrians coming to Europe and all the rest of it. Do you think that the campaign, the referendum campaign, whenever it comes, will be dominated by that issue?
Well, I hope it's not dominated by just one issue, but I think that is an important issue which matters to a lot of people. And the Prime Minister, if he's campaigning to stay in, will not be able to say we now control our own borders. I think British people would like a fair system, as between people coming from the Commonwealth, for example, and people coming from the European Union. At the moment, we have to give a massive preference to the European Union, and we end up with far too many people. That's going to be a major problem for the stay inside.
And when it comes to the important issues of the campaign, presumably you believe that trade, for example, there's going to be a lot of arguments, aren't there, about how Britain will fare when it comes to trade, when it comes to our economy, if we are outside of the EU. How do you answer that?
Well, indeed, we'll trade more successfully because we'll be able to have free trade agreements with a big range of countries that the EU has failed to negotiate arrangements for us, and we're not allowed to do it on our own all the time we're in the EU. And as to our trade with the rest of the EU, they've already made it clear they don't want to damage that because they sell us much more than we sell them. And the recent figures show that since the single market started in the early 1990s, our trade has grown less quickly with the rest of the EU than many countries outside the EU altogether.
Okay, John Redwood, thank you very much indeed.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.